back at 7:26.
Any motion?
Return from executive session and take possible action following executive session regarding the consulting with the attorney. Do I have a motion to return?
Yeah, make a motion to return out of executive session.
Do I have a second?
I second.
Okay, all in favor? No, Melissa? Return from executive session and take, can you read what?
Yes, I make a motion to amend the engagement letter to include Garza y Rolando Moran regarding the election matters, including review of election code provisions regarding selection of alternative dates for holding elections.
Do I have a second?
I second.
All in favor? Five zero. Can I vote?
Yes, you can vote as Mayor Pro Tem. Yes, Mayor, you're allowed to vote.
5-0. Okay, now we're gonna return back to where we were at with, discussion on, financials for January. Connie?
Good evening, council. In your packages, you have the financials for the month of January. And as we always do, we're gonna go ahead and start with the major funds, which includes general fund, water fund, and water and sewer. On general fund, we collected on revenues 1,424,529. We have expense 1,393,379, with a surplus of 31,150. For the water fund, we have revenues of 609,191. We have expenses of 498,614, with a surplus of 110,578. For the water and wastewater, we have revenues of 522,188, with expenses of 377,762, with a surplus of 144,426. Do you have any questions on this page? I would like to move forward to sales tax. Sales tax collected for the city for the month of January was $259,421, with the allocation of 50% to city, 25% to FEDC, and 25% allocated in between street and for a corporation. The city has collection year to date, 583,360. Compare that to prior year, we have an 18% increase year to date. Do you have any questions? If not, this will conclude my report.
Okay, is there any comments or anything? Does anybody have anything to say?
No, I can wait till tomorrow, okay? I'm gonna see that something.
Okay, then we'll continue to, with, new business. The CNA to approve.
I guess I can refer to.
I'm gonna wait for
Just
I'm gonna wait for Councilman Jimenez, he had some questions on this.
On the financials?
No, not on yours, on the league.
Council, I'm gonna go ahead and get going. It's raining and
You
it's
go
dark,
ahead.
so
Thank you.
thank you.
Mayor Pro
Thanks.
Tem, if we could have the attorney clarify, because you do have a version of the agreement in your packages that was like the second draft, and I believe on your places, we put the final draft with some additional comments. And so you have one that's in your packet, and then you have one that had like the final third or fourth draft, I'm not quite sure which one it was. Okay. So the first one would have been in the package, the one without your comments. Okay. Then the one that they have that we made printed out for them are the ones with the comments and your comments. Okay? The ones we will receive on Tuesday. So that's what we have. So do you have both of them with you? The one
Yeah,
that's
I
in
have
your
both of them.
notebook, and then the attorney can allude to what those changes were as soon as Councilman Gerard Jimenez is able to join us.
No, you have one in your book. The one in your book.
You have one in your book, and then you have one that we printed out that would have had, they're minor changes, but they are some changes.
Okay.
And so the attorney has those.
And
And the staple copy is the one with the minor changes. Both of them have been reviewed and prepared by your attorney. Do you see them both, Councilwoman?
yeah, I have mine, the one I had in the book,
And then the other one.
and
that
then
was-
the other one that.
Yes, ma'am, I just wanted to do that before.
which is the one that?
So the one,
Well, we're gonna discuss
the
it.
one with the staples, the one that you have that's loose, is the one that had, they tweaked it and made some comments. But we
They
wanted,
made some changes.
they made some comments about their recommendations for back and forth. But we wanted to get you the full one that your attorney had prepared based on our last meeting. So that's the one that's in your book. We sent it to them, the Little League, and then the Little League made some comments and sent it back, but your package had already been prepared. So we didn't want them to go out without anything. And so then, the attorney can be able to tell you what the difference is between the two. And so we're just, Councilman, we're just waiting for Councilman Jimenez to serve. Mayor, if I may, if we can just move to the other items.
I was gonna say that, can we move to item B?
Yes, and we have actually put an ad in the newspaper to do that. We haven't had any additional applications, is that correct, Madam Secretary?
That is correct.
So therefore, we were able to put it in your packet. So it is appearing again. If you have any names that you care to bring forward, but we don't have any additional applications, we can put it on the agenda again if you all care to table items B, C, D, and E.
Can we do it all together?
Madam Attorney, may we table all of B, C, D, and E? The item.
Oh, I'm sorry, I am over here trying to do
The-
the evaluation and everything, so I
So if we
can,
could
I won't
do-
take too long.
If we could do B, C, D, and E, those are all up to appoint people
They're all
to
to
different
appoint.
boards. Can we table all of them as one motion?
They're set out as additional motions, I think for clarity's sake, if you can do different motions,
Okay,
please.
I'll go ahead and do,
It is better for the minutes.
B, on new business on B, CNA to appoint members to the zoning board of adjustments to include any reappointments of current members, appointments to fill vacancies, and or replace existing members. Do I have a motion to table?
I make a motion that we table this item.
Do I have a
One
second?
second.
Okay, everybody in favor, raise your right hand. Okay, let's go to C. CNA to appoint members to the Floresville Economic Development Board to include any reappointments of current members, appointments to fill vacancies, and or replace existing members.
I make a motion to table.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor? Okay, item D, CNA to appoint members to the 4A Cooperation Board to include any reappointments of current members, appointments to fill vacancies, and or replace existing members.
Make a motion to table.
I second.
All in favor? Thank you. CNA to approve members to Convention, Tourist, or Visitors Advisory Board to include any reappointments or current members, appointments to fill vacancies, and/or replace existing members.
I'll make a motion to table.
So I have a second?
Second.
All in favor? 5-0. Okay, now we're gonna go back to item A. CNA to approve the Floresville Little League Youth Sports Agreement for 2019. There was, we had gotten in the package, we got the contract, but then it was sent to the Little League, and then it was sent back with changes on it. And I was gonna ask our city attorney if she could clarify what changes were made.
Okay, here we go. Ready? Page 1 is good. Page 1 gets you all the way down to 1.4.
1.4.
Do you have that one? I have it as 1.5.
Mine was down to 1.5. No, you're right.
That might be on the new one.
Okay, wait a minute.
Do you have
So
that?
we're going,
Or let me just give you numbers and I'll tell you what was changed. Is that better?
yes.
Okay. If you can look at 2.6,
2.6.
okay, and that had what was requested was that Little League is not permitted to charge admission to games. So what 2.6 indicates, it says, FLL shall not charge or attempt to charge any general public user of the complex. Okay, that's 2.6.
And they changed it to?
It is changed that you're not gonna charge, they're not gonna charge anything. Okay, that's 2.6.
Excuse me,
And it-
but that's part of that league, right, that they cannot
Yes.
charge?
Yeah, it's a
Yes.
policy of the National League, we're not allowed to charge.
Okay.
There was something that indicated, I think our previous agreement indicated that they were going to charge admissions and stuff of that nature. And if you'll also notice, it has been changed from the very get-go that they are the Floresville Little League instead of the Floresville Youth Organization.
Correct.
So that's why you now have FLL instead of FYO.
Okay.
Okay, so 2.6 was a change. Moving on to 3.3, that is an addition on that one, okay? Well, you know what, 3.1, because I think the previous agreement was for more than 1 year, and then it was changed to a year.
And we were being specific on dates.
Yeah.
That was the changes that we wanted
And
to
that
be
is on
specific on dates.
3.1,
Wait a minute, it says beginning on February the 1st,
2019, and
That's
expiring on February 17,
but it,
2020.
It didn't have, Madam Mayor didn't have the specific dates in y'all's original agreement, so we thought
Yes.
it'd be best to put specific dates.
Okay,
To
so
account
that's,
for the year.
when does the season start?
They're practicing right now, so it starts in February, so February 1st. And then the games start in March.
Y'all are getting a whole month? Because y'all didn't start, y'all just started this week, right, practicing?
Right, because we didn't have any fields to practice on, because we were still in negotiations with you all.
okay, so that added in the dates, the other one was blank. That's on 3.1. Okay, then 3.3,
Wait a minute, let me,
Okay, I'm sorry.
It says the term of this agreement will beginning on February the 1st and then expiring on February the 17th, a year later.
What do you?
that's for a year.
That's more than a year.
It's a year and 16 days.
That's what it is.
But I thought that it was just gonna be, okay, but y'all are just gonna be there for the season.
Correct. And that's, I think there was some confusion on whether we should do a year or just for the season, but I think we all
Because
agreed.
that's what I thought we
to
were
do
gonna
here.
agree to, just the season, because then if we.
But
made a
it states,
contract-
it states further, Madam Mayor, that what the season is, so
Yes.
So
if
we're
we
gonna
can-
eliminate this 3.1? If it states it later, why do we need that 3.1 there?
Well,
I
then,
understand that.
it's just giving you the beginning and the end
Yeah,
of
but
your
it's
term.
stating on here that they're gonna have the field the whole year. That's how I read it.
Yes, ma'am.
And they're
But-
not, they're gonna have it for one season.
But the other trucks and with the scheduled dates.
Yes.
Okay, but one of the
No.
things, one of the things
One
that,
season is just one season.
Yeah.
We have 4 seasons in a year.
yeah, but one
What
of,
is your season?
February to July, February 1st
That
to
would
the
be
end
the
of July.
spring season.
Correct.
Okay.
because they're not playing fall ball. However, one of the things that we talked about to help offset the cost, and Marissa and Gloria, you were at that meeting, was that they may have an option to do, if they opt into that, to hold a tournament to raise funds, which is why it needs to cover more than just when they're actually playing. And so our agreement goes for that time, is that correct? Would that be fair?
I believe that's what y'all
I know you weren't at
discussed.
that
Yeah, I
meeting,
wasn't
that's
at
what
that
was
meeting.
discussed. So it's a one-year contract, and so they have to come back and give us times and schedules, but it starts here and ends there for the year. In that time period, they come back and want to schedule something, they have to come back to schedule it for those particular times, and I think we came up with like a 48-hour notice, and when they were gonna,
Yes,
72
it's
hours
actually,
notice to do those.
it's
kind of things.
actually addressed on 3.2.
Yes.
But so that's just the beginning.
If
and
you'll
end.
go to 3.2, it says FLL's right of use of the complex shall be weekdays, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, between February the 1st and July 31st, during which period FLL's right to use of the complex shall be exclusive. That's during those periods, those specific periods, February 1st through July 31st, exclusive. During all other times, the city shall have the sole right and authority to schedule events at the complex. Okay? So that basically explains 3.1
Correct.
further.
And even if we wanted to hold those tournaments, we'd obviously be in communication and give you the appropriate notice as well.
Okay?
Yeah, that was what it's supposed to do. I mean, supposed to say, so that's correct.
Okay. So then, we move on to 3.3. The city shall grant use of the fields to FLL on certain available weekends in order to make up practices and games should a rainout or inclement weather occur. The FLL is required to give 72 hours notice to the city, point of contact of intent to use fields on said weekend to make up the practices or games. That's an addition, that's
Okay.
3.3.
Okay, that addition, you have to add on there if the fields are available, because if Chaz has them already booked, we're not gonna, cancel the ones that we have booked because Little League wants them. You understand what I mean?
Okay.
And I think that
Yeah,
was
I
the
think that's what
agreement,
it
right?
says.
That's the agreement, we understand that.
Yeah,
Okay, but it's not in writing.
That's fine.
yeah, it says they gotta notice 72 hours in advance.
And we talked about that.
And if,
already.
and if they're being used on that day, they cannot use it, that's what the 72 hours is for, correct?
Correct, correct.
But it has to
So
be-
do
That way we could try to see down the road, if y'all didn't have something scheduled, we could make it up.
Okay.
That was the agreement that y'all would contact Chess and see if things
Where
were
does it
going
say
on.
that it's, that,
3.3.
yeah, but it doesn't say here that if the
72
fields are
hours
in.
I understand what that
fields
means,
are in
Mayor's
use.
saying. It's not.
And what we
expressly
can do is possibly put,
72
Um,
hours,
Yeah, it says 72 hours.
Based on availability, can we add that?
yes, that's what I was gonna say,
Mayor,
to inquire if available.
can we say based on
Yes.
availability? Would that be fine? Based on availability? Is that what you're
If
saying?
it's available.
Yes, based on availability. And would that be
Based on
fine?
availability, yeah.
Based on availability?
Yeah, that's
So
what
I'm
we
gonna-
agreed to.
I'm gonna put a comma and then put based on availability.
Por eso digo yo, they can't use it.
Okay.
Yes, and so I think the language of based on availability will make sure that that happens.
Put it like that.
And also another thing that was changed, it used to indicate premises and it now says complex. Okay, so we'll make that, wanted to inform the council of that change.
Where was that at, Zoe?
Throughout the whole agreement,
Thank you.
it was changed to complex instead of to premises. Okay. So then we're gonna move on, to 5 point, I think most of section 5 is, if I'm not mistaken, I think most of that is some additions on there. I know 5.1.6, okay? It says maintain all improvements and structures, including concession buildings, restrooms, bleachers, parking lots, utility connections, lighting that benefits the complex, and other structures in good condition, which includes cleaning, restocking toilet paper, hand towels, hand soap, etc., and repair as needed.
So what you're asking for
Probably
is
get
to
rid of
have a
et cetera.
person there at all times?
And
Who's
repair
gonna
as
pay
needed.
for that person?
No, we're not asking for that, we're asking to make sure that it's available to us if we're called upon to restock it.
Okay, so,
It says maintain all improvements, it says maintain all improvements.
But we would, I mean,
Can you put that on there, that, to make it available for them?
yes,
Okay, because it doesn't say that.
okay. City to make available to
We do have a person.
FLL to maintain,
just,
Oh, the new guy.
We have, John Lasovich is actually the person we have to do that, and we have, I think we've agreed to have issue keys to the concession stand in their storage area, and then we'll put some toilet paper supplies like that in the bathroom, in their concession storage area, and then we'll have our own supply that we lock up separately, but, you know, if somebody runs out of toilet paper, they can go to the concession stand area and get it.
Yeah, that's perfect.
And that would be during working hours, not on the
Oh,
Saturday.
no, actually, that would be during the time that they're playing.
Yeah, because we don't.
because the
we don't
staff
have
would-
anybody working there at
Staff
night.
would have stocked it for them, it'd have been like set.
During
but-
their working hours.
Yes,
They would be,
doing
yeah.
working hours.
staff would need to stock it during
We
working
don't need
hours.
to have overtime or.
Correct.
And he's already understood that it has a flexible hour, but he would stock it and make sure everything's there, but toilet paper runs out kind of fast, and so we'll have them provide that to them.
okay, so then what we need to do is, okay, so this is under city maintenance, so the city will still continue to maintain all improvements and will continue to include, to basically do the cleaning, restocking of toilet paper, hand towels, hand soap, and repair as needed, and further agree to provide FLL with access to the items needed.
Yes.
Okay, and to provide FLL access to you want to call it material needed? Supplies, to supplies needed. Is that good for everyone? Yes? Yes. Okay. I think 5.1.7, I think that's already, was that already there?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
already, that was already there.
That was just, yeah.
Okay, so it was just 5.1.6.
And then 5.16.
Okay, so we're gonna add that, to provide FLL access to supplies needed, okay? And then, we did then make some additions to, 5.3, okay? Which says city will place this, I don't think that was there yet, at that point. City will place a 60-foot base path and place all bases in the ground in field 1, which is utilized as a softball field.
How much is that gonna cost us?
We have the bases already, they just have to put them in place, so we have them physically. And then I think some additional bases based on their
We already
requests
have some
received, so we already have them.
Okay.
We just have to put them in place, because they were not in place when they walked it, but we'll put them in place. They're removable and adjustable, but we'll put them in place.
Okay.
So they added that, city will provide and install, okay, that's 5.4 is already there.
The city will provide and install pitching rubbers in field 1. Was that already?
I think all this is already there.
Yeah, that was already
Yeah, this
there.
was already
Okay.
there.
I think the addition was 5.14. The city shall provide FLL with keys to storage facilities,
Yes.
concession storage room, concession window enclosures, and restrooms for the duration of the season.
Okay, city will provide
FLL,
places
with keys.
In the ground, maybe just a week to utilize, but-
And that's gonna be helping with the supply safety.
Right.
Okay, and then the 5.6, we have to put a helmet rack and a
And
bag
bag
rack.
racks and all dugouts.
Is that, are we gonna have to pay for that, Ms. Turner?
There's a simple thing we have to order, yes, we do have to pay for that. But it'll come in handy for what other people need to use for the back rack. Otherwise, what ends up happening is that it becomes a tripping hazard. They drop the backs and someone steps on it and slips and falls. So we need to have that available for anybody playing. It's not necessarily something that Sean would have put into his thing in reference to that. It's a simple rack that we can install.
And where's the money coming from?
Well, you do all have a simple budget. We can always use the dollar fund if we want to do that. Or we can actually, we have an assigned, I kind of just put it in miscellaneous, the fees that they pay, we can use some of that money if you like. I believe you did make your first payment of 2,500. Yes, I'm sorry, I don't do that math very well. So they did make a payment of 2,500 if you want to reinvest it in the field. But we also do have some simple money that we can use to be able to do that. But that's not something that Sean would have provided. It's like a coat rack, those kind of things. But we do need to have that for Little League as well as other people who use the field so they can put their bats in their helmets and not have people step on them.
And they need to be permanent, just FYI.
Yeah, no, we're gonna install them. I'm
Okay.
saying other people will need to have, it's not just there for you. It's
Right.
there for anybody to put, hopefully they're used.
Right, I'm just saying it's permanent so they don't walk off.
Oh, they walk off. Okay, yeah, we're gonna
Is
install.
it very costly, Miss?
No, ma'am, these are not very costly items. I would say,
How much?
well, we're anticipating somewhere between $200 to $300 per field, and I think we have 4 fields. So it total will be less than $1,000, yes.
And what we also did in the agreement is that, since we were talking about field 1, field 2, field 3, we basically clarified as to their location. That's another thing that was added in there.
Hold on,
Okay, I'm
just a
sorry.
second. Ms. Turner, but that's just for materials, that's not for the paying somebody to do it, right?
Oh, our staff will install it. City staff can install things such as that.
Okay, and then, I'm sorry, what was Ms.?
I was just advising council, Madam Mayor Pro Tem, that basically also it describes, it clarifies what field we're talking about instead of just field 1, field 2, field 3. It says the field that faces a football field, or this is gonna be the junior field, and that's the one that's closer to the rodeo pit. It's just clarifying the fields as well, so that you'll know what field is being provided with what.
And where was that at, Sylvia?
It's basically all under 5, under
5.1.
section 5. It's gonna tell you about, for clarification, 5.7 tells you, field 2 is the field that faces the football field, okay? Then field 3, it tells you is the junior field, and this is the field that faces the rodeo pen, okay? And then, field 4 is the field that faces the river. Okay, and then it tells you which one is gonna be utilized as the softball field, which is gonna be field 1.
The city will, okay.
It's just clarification. Okay, so then we're gonna move on,
On 5.13,
okay?
okay, that was there already.
Yes.
So they did away with the city shall provide storage.
No, we added 5.14 is an add-in. That is so that she can have, or they can have access, so they can get in and get toilet paper and stuff from storage. That's 5.14.
I thought we were
It'll
not gonna
be-
give keys to anyone, Ms. Turner.
It'll be, Little League has its own storage area that's only for Little League. And then we'll have a storage area that will be for the city. And anybody who doesn't have a storage area.
Shall, with keys to
Okay.
storage facilities, concession storage, room, concession windows, enclosed and restrooms for the duration of the season.
Okay, because there's a lot of keys, those windows that go up in front, it's not the same key that goes into the door. And so they have to unlock those overhead rolling doors, you have to unlock those. And then there's a key to the concession stand, there's a key to the concession storage, it's their storage, not mine, whatever they keep, their nacho chips or whatever, that's theirs to keep. And then they need to lock and unlock the bathrooms, because we'll have them unlocked, but they need to lock the door. And it's
So
gonna be,
duplicates are gonna be made, or is one
Yes.
person gonna have a key, or
we
is
have,
everybody gonna have a key?
no
or-
ma'am, we're gonna give one set of keys. They have agreed to their contact to be their president and their vice president, that we give one set of keys to them. And the kind of key we're getting, you can't just go and duplicate it. And so we give them one set of keys to them, and then whoever the key keepers on that side, and then they'll be able to prompt the
And
key.
then they'll turn it back at the end of the season?
I would imagine that they would, but I think one of the things that we found out with bathrooms, and I know we said we can unlock the bathrooms, and we can send somebody to lock them back up. In Dollar, there's gonna be some little boy or little girl who's gonna try it, lock the door, and then close it behind them and lock the bathroom, so that they need to be able to have that key. There's 3 bathrooms, just to let you know, girls, a boys, a male, female bathroom.